Welcome back to another IRTA Retiredside chat. Our chat today is a little different. We're going to discuss Collette Travel. Now, it's my understanding that we had a partnership with Collette several years ago, maybe not that long ago, and we're trying to kind of get this going again with COVID behind us. We see that a lot of our members have the desire to travel, and so today we're going to discuss some opportunities that we hope our members will find very desirable. So I have invited Eric Scott, and Eric is the Business Development Manager for Indiana for Collette Travel. And Eric, anything else you want to share about yourself?
Yeah, I'm from Carmel, Indiana, father of 3 little boys, married my junior high school sweetheart.
Oh.
We both grew up in the same neighborhood, quite the love story, and yeah, she's my best friend, and I just love raising my kids and keeping them out of trouble, and I love to travel, obviously. Just got back from Paris. I head to Canada next week on one of our amazing tours, and I'm really excited.
That would be why I would love to have your job.
Not bad.
So currently, we do have 3 trips that are on schedule that were in our spring edition of our bulletin board. And I realize that we're kind of getting down to the timeline of getting a deposit down on these trips. So this may be a slow start. That's why, as we're going to talk today about some possibilities for the future, I'm going to continue to invite our members to let us know where you want to go, because this is truly about serving our IRTA members. So first of all, let's start with the 3 trips that we have planned that were mentioned in our bulletin board. Eric?
Yeah, the first one on the docket it's a December 3rd through December 11th trip. It's Christmas on the Danube. And that's featuring a 6-night Danube river cruise. That's in Germany. It's a lovely trip. The next is the Hawaiian Adventure. That departs next year, January 25th through February 3rd. And that's all 3 islands featuring Oahu, the Big Island, and Maui. And then to top it off, the last one offered is Costa Rica, A World of Nature. And that departs next year, February 17th through the 28th. It's featuring the national park, Arenal Volcano, and Manuel Antonio National Park as well. And to your point, Laura, yeah, so the last program that we had, Collette, we are a guided touring company. We have 170 different tours on all 7 continents. And what you guys used to do is just offer the entire portfolio to your members and associate members. And what we said is, let's choose a few, maybe 1, 2, or 3 a year. And allow for our members to, go somewhere together, experience an area of the world, whether domestic or international, as a group. Everyone's like-minded, so that's where the feedback really comes into play. If people can tell us where they want to go, we can start selecting tours based on that feedback.
Now, are these tours, and in just a minute I'm going to hit upon some of your most popular ones,
Mm-hmm.
Is this like a rotation, like for instance the Hawaiian Adventure? Is this one you offer every so many years? I mean, you come back to it. How do these work? Like if they hear from friends, oh, you should have taken that trip.
Yeah.
Can they expect that one to be offered in the future?
It's a great question, and it's all based on how popular they are. So that one, yeah, that's every year. The Hawaiian cruise one every year. The 3 that we have, they're offered every year. You just may see some slight deviations in the itineraries. That's basically what it is. We have boots on the ground, strategic partnerships all over the world, and they're the ones that are setting up our itineraries for us. We don't outsource any of them. So those partnerships, we're constantly tweaking them, making them better. We say, oh, we love that restaurant, but we'd like to offer this one as well. So if you go to the one last year, you may get a different restaurant the next year because we have several partnerships in that area.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Again, I referenced there's a list here of the most popular destinations. And so before we started this morning recording this, I asked Eric, I said, I don't see Mexico as one of the destinations. I said, maybe we want to talk about that a little bit because I bet our members have seen a lot of stories about some of the unrest in Mexico on the news lately.
And it's a good point, and I'm glad you brought it up because, we've been doing this 106 years. We've had the opportunity to create relationships all over the globe. We would never send any of your members or any of our partnerships anywhere where there's unrest, an area that's being war torn, anything like that. So right now we're offering nothing in Mexico, nothing in Ukraine, nothing in China. We send thousands of people to all these different destinations. You can rest assured if we're sending you there, it's very, very safe. We would never put any of our partnerships in jeopardy. So.
But you said you do have plans if our members were to take a trip and something unexpected would happen.
Yeah.
So you have, just like we have plans here when we have a weather emergency or something, that we weren't expecting.
That's right.
So.
That's right. We contingency plans. I was just telling Laura before we started I was just in Paris, and we had two different restaurant trips. One was the third level of the Eiffel Tower. We had to deviate because there was some. What did I say? They were protesting. So there was a protest there. We had to have a plan B. They shifted our restaurant to a lovely 4-star restaurant overlooking the Eiffel Tower. So if there is something happens, we have contingency plans in place for things like that. Or if there's civil unrest, we would have you taken care of, for sure.
Now, one thing Eric was telling me, because I was asking him if any of their trips were cruises, and it's my understanding they're not, but you have river cruises, and I didn't look. And do you have railway trips as well?
Absolutely.
But everything that a member would book would include the flight, the hotel, the meals. But it also includes a tour guide that's with them the whole time that's from that area. Am I understanding that correctly?
You are correct. Yeah, so let's just go Christmas on the Danube, just to give you that kind of 10,000-foot view. Your air will be included in the rate that we give you. Not every single meal, because I was telling you before, we plan for some free time. You'll have some leisure time to go out and explore with friends, family, coworkers, peers. So usually when you're eating as a group, and let's say you want something that's really authentic to Germany, you would just tap your tour guide on the shoulder and say, hey, we have 5 hours of free time. Here's what I want to do. What do you suggest? They live in that area. They speak German, the native tongue, so anywhere that you're going to be, and they're also going to speak English. So they are Collette employees trained by us. These aren't people that we've contracted to run our tours. These are our employees. So yes, it's a good point. But it's all inclusive, but there is some free time. We want to give people the autonomy to go out and do their own thing. If they want, to go to a 4-star Michelin restaurant, we want them to be able to do that during that leisure time.
And I was telling Eric, I wish I'd had the opportunity to take a Collette tour, but back in 2000, my parents had gone with a different travel agency. I probably didn't know about Collette because this one was more local. And so my sister and I went with my parents. It was just this type of tour, picked us up in Terre Haute, took us to Indianapolis. We got to Amsterdam. We had a tour guide, 7 countries in 15 days, and it is a memory I will never forget. And my parents did it to celebrate their retirement. And unfortunately, we lost my dad very soon after that, almost 2 years after that. So again, the pictures, the memories, it just last a lifetime. Now, as I look quickly again at some of these popular destinations, and the reason I'm just going to name a few is I really want to encourage our members. You need to let us know what places would you like to see, because I will admit, with Eric's input, I picked these 3. I will admit that, and it may not be 3 that you're interested in. But like I notice on here in Alaska Northern Lights, I know a lot of retirees have done things in Alaska. I've noticed Imperial Cities. Now, what's that one?
That's I think that's a domestic tour. Or no, excuse me. I'm not sure. I brought my handy dandy book here. It's 170
Well, you look
tours.
that up
Yeah,
while I
let's
go
look it up.
some. There's another Alaska Discovery, National Parks, because I know some of our members may still not feel comfortable leaving the country. America's Music Cities, Treasures of Europe, if you do feel comfortable leaving. Shades of Ireland, I think that one would just be amazing. I've always wanted to see Ireland. But the one thing that I want to bring up, Israel. Israel is one that I know has been very popular when I've talked to some of my friends who have retired. So the Imperial Cities.
So here's the look at a glance here.
So you're going to and I can't pronounce all of them.
Czech Republic,
But Austria,
Slovakia.
Hungary, so just
but to
amazing.
your point, we get that a lot. 170 different itineraries on all 7 continents. Some folks say, hey, I don't have a passport, or I've never traveled international, and I like to stay put in my own country. We have 55 domestic tours every single year. So even if you're not willing to travel across the pond, 55 amazing tours to see your own country. And that includes cowboy countries out west, New York City, New England, San Antonio, anything you can think of.
So why are we just offering a few? This was my thought process with this. For your $35 a year to be a member, or $15 to be an associate member, I want to start working even harder to get the best benefits for you that we can. So as I was talking to Eric with Collette, we were working out how this could look. If we have 2 or 3 trips, let's say we can get 10 people from Evansville to go. They know one another. They're going to take this amazing trip, maybe one that they told me a year ahead of time or 2 years ahead of time, we want to go here. We're going to get so much back from that trip. And this is not about IRTA making money on you traveling. Whatever we would earn for that trip, those 10 people would take, would go back to those 10 people as members of IRTA. So what my promise is to you is every dime we would earn for any of these trips is going to go back to the traveler. And that's what I'm looking for, just a really good resource. Try to make it more affordable for you to be able to travel as you are enjoying your retirement. So for this to work, I'm going to be constantly asking and having our presidents ask at the local meetings, where would you like to go as we plan future trips? And hopefully as you take these trips, you're going to give us some input, maybe some pictures that our Director of Communications, Josie, can post, and we can enjoy that trip through pictures with you. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention the web link. So for each one of these trips, when we select one, we put together what's a web link that's specific to that trip. So no one can see that but IRTA members. So when you get that via email, you send out these via email as well so people can see the trips and all that. You do that. So when we see that web link, you can click on that, and all the information you could ever want to know, the itinerary, the cost, the do's, the don't, the climate during that time, that's all on that web link that's specific to that trip. So for these 3, there's 3 separate web links. So when you receive those via email or you see them in the newsletter, when you click on those, you can see all of that specific information. It's really helpful to make a decision on where you want to go. And so we are the guided touring company. That's what Collette does. And we partnered with a local travel agency. Her name's Melissa Kaiser. It's Carmel Travel Company. And you can reach out to her for any questions. If you wanted to sign up on the phone with her, you didn't want to put your credit card information on the web link, that's the person you would want to call. And she's a wonderful partner. We do lots of these groups together. So it's a great partnership.
And I just want to say one more time, because I know a lot of you may realize this through having some partnership with your local church or other organization. Anything we earn, free trips, anything we earn, all of that becomes cash that we put back to the members that are traveling. We just want to give back as much as we can so that you can hopefully afford to do these trips. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me here at the office so that if you have any questions, I'll ask Eric and we'll get the answers to you as quickly as possible. Thank you for joining us for this Retiredside chat.